So this video shows why some women change the bed.
Do you hear yourself?
I needed that.
Do you hear cool down?
Actually, you're the one that needs cooling down.
Do I look good wet? Do I look good wet?
I mean,
What?
She's allowed to have preferences.
I don't like that, Amy.
You don't like what?
Doesn't like that she wouldn't go along with it and lie, saying that she's like black women just so he can disparage black women. When black women don't give a about that, trying to make them care. She has no obligation to like him
Preference would probably
because he wants to hurt women as much as possible.
light
Then they wonder
skins
why
or,
the bear gets chosen to be alone with.
I'm a picky Spanish dude.
He can't control her choices.
I'm very picky. I'm very, very picky.
Oh,
He just assaulted her.
cool down.
Asshole. Oh.
Because no, I had to cool you down. Do you hear yourself?
No, he's the terror beast who needs to be cooled down.
Do you hear cool down?
Do I look good? Do I look good wet? Do I look good wet?
I mean,
And they wonder why women choose that.
Adultify with this ridiculous comment. Like, there are some people who should never have access to children. There are some people who should never
Girls get their periods as young as 10.
to children. No access. They shouldn't even be able to look at children. There are some people that should have zero access
Sound
to
like
children.
Fredo. They almost break this one girl's arm, and she's a little girl. It didn't stop them from arresting her. She's underage.
Get in the car.
This woman hardly says anything that causes a fight.
Get your food. Get your food. If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
He could have calmed himself down, but he started to punch her.
Say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Over some food.
If I was to ask for Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at her feet? I don't know, but I'm glad to be back like
He made a rap album asking if he could shoot her. He calls another man the devil.
I've never seen nothing like that in it.
When he hung out with him, he's just as much as one.
So, that's a new for me.
This woman's mother, his child. Look what he did to her.
You know, stop. Stop. All right. Stop. Come out.
She suspected that he had something to do with Whitney's death.
When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag. I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
The next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober.
The bear is just eating. It's not bothering anybody. It didn't grape anybody. And didn't do anything to anyone for pure pleasure, but just for the pleasure of eating. Because he's hungry, and it's obvious he's hungry. So why did this woman choose the bear? Well, it's eating their food, but at least it's not in their face trying to take them virginity, trying to grape them, trying to get away with it. This guy here was in Korea. Story will make you want to choose the bear also. He went outside to get a smoke, and a girl accidentally bumped shoulders with him. He said, "Watch where you're going," and he said in the meanest way, and then she cussed him out. He grabbed her and started to try to choke her, and while he was choking her, he thought he would want to rape her too. So he pulls her in the apartment and tries to do. She wouldn't comply, and she was fighting. So he kept his neck around her, trying to strangle her all night. He fell asleep, and when he woke back up, he couldn't do what he wanted to do, which was grape her. So he decided to strangle her some more, and he took something and beat her over the head 3 times. She was still alive, so he decided to take something to strangle her scarf. And as he did that, he decided to hit her over the head one more time because he thought that she wasn't dying, that she wasn't unalive. So he saw that she was laid out and gone. So he decided to cut her flesh off and grind it and make it into flesh pills. And he put her body in parts of her body into perfectly neat packs of plastic to try to discard the body. And this is where the police had found him. And yet these folks cry and complain about why those women choose bears over males to be in the forest and are alone with. This next story, I don't even want to give sound to because these women sound really dumb right now. I mean, she's talking about her quote-unquote friend, claiming her friend went through this, that her friend got pregnant by some down low dude that they were warned to stay away from, but decided to be impregnated by anyway. This dude slept with her and made her a single baby mother, knowing that people like him was going to sleep around, and he slept around all right. He slept around with 4 of his bestest male friends on a romance site, and then they all came up with HIV, and they infected her friend with HIV, and her friend got pregnant by him. He said he didn't want the baby. Right after she said she was pregnant, and what happened was he found out he had HIV and he wanted to leave her life. So she welcomed him back when he came back to the house, and they got intimate together again, knowing that he had ran off from her the first time and knew there were red flags. Since they know that these guys have red flags all over them, they get insecure and grab their phone and look all in it, sneaking around for it. Plus, he hit her upside the head when she confronted him about it. Oh, what a relationship that is, huh? Can't even be truthful with somebody and talk honestly, but they had to hit her upside the head because the lines of communications will be open in a healthy relationship. But since what she had was a lie, then they wouldn't be prevalent in her relationship. But that's what it is when she deals with someone and they're not betting them and they're just letting them do what they want to do and come as they go as they please. But the bear comes and goes as they please, but it's in another way. It's not malicious intent. It's not any harm done just for the pleasure of it, but it's for an ends to a means for survival, and that's what most don't understand. Now, I don't think a bear would do that to someone now, would they?
This isn't about bears attacking women in the forest. This isn't about your National Geographic studies about bears because you watched a lot of it on TV. It's not your expertise on how bears act. It's about how men act towards women. It's about how women are being assaulted by men. It's how women would rather choose being with a bear than being tortured by a man, and then being shamed and blamed for the attack afterwards and not even being believed.
Let me show you some numbers. According to global data from the United Nations, in 2022, 89,000 women and girls were killed intentionally. But let me remind you, women are harassed at work, while running, while commuting, mostly in public but also in private spheres. Women face threats, and that's not the only problem here. It is also about everything that happens before and after the abuse. Women say that with a bear, they know what the dangers are. If they were attacked by a bear, people would believe them. They wouldn't ask, what were you wearing? What were you drinking? Did you say no? We see this time and again with survivors of rape and abuse. Victim blaming is the modus operandi. People say women are being hysterical, oversensitive, humorless. Skeptics are everywhere, and they're willing to perform all kinds of mental acrobatics only to avoid facing the reality of living in our world as a woman. Crimes. And in many nations, certain assaults on women are not even considered criminal. Like in the case of marital...
A woman on this app said, the bear lives in the woods. A man followed you there. And that's why she would pick the bear. And that's where you guys are understanding. The worst thing a bear can do to a woman is kill. And the only reason why they're unaliving them is because the bear sees the woman as a threat. The bear isn't trying to hurt the woman because the bear wants the woman's body, wants the woman's labor, wants the woman to perform some type of service for the bear. The bear is trying to stay alive. The bear is doing things out of survival. The man, on the other hand, thinks he is entitled to that woman. He is going out of his way to make sure that woman is uncomfortable because that woman did not give him something he feels like he is entitled to. It's not out of survival. It's not out of desperation to stay alive. It's so that he can get what he wants from that woman that he feels that he's not getting.
Attacked at all.
just for the record. No one should be being attacked at all. But we just found out through this app that a woman named Sade Robinson was unalived and dismembered by a 33-year-old man who lied and said he was in his 20s to get her to go on a date with him, her very first date. She was 19 years old, and this man hunted her, got her, unalived her, dismembered her, and according to the police, all they found was some unnamed body part.
All I can tell you is, I have men out there who keep me safe, but at the same time, there's men out there who do pose a threat. And I want to tell you about my experience with the bear before. And it's when I went camping, and there were so many people around who were out camping. And then the bear walked through their camp, and it was a bunch of white folks, and they were playing Bob Marley album late at night when we were trying to get some sleep. It was me and white and the black lady that I was camping with, and we were all trying to get some sleep, and they were playing that Bob Marley music really loud and barbecuing and drinking and having a good time. And then all of a sudden the music went off and we heard screams. And not just little girls screaming, but grown men screaming, and they were hitting pots and things and making noise to make the bear go away. And the bear, I believe, was just standing there. It wasn't attacking them, wasn't doing anything to them but walking. But they got scared and just they were told to make noise so that the bear would go away. And we had almost halfway asleep when we heard it. So after that, I could hear a bear trying to beat through the meat locker that I had my meat that I had already put up locked, because you're supposed to lock it. They tell you at the park to lock your food up, lock your meat up, and that's what I did before we went to sleep. So I was laying down and I could hear it trying to beat into the meat locker to try to get the meat, but they couldn't get in. So it didn't fool with it anymore, and it kept on walking. It didn't want a human, it just wanted something to eat. The bear was hungry. The bear wasn't going around trying to find someone to grip. The bear wasn't going around trying to harm women. The bear wasn't trying to go in and try to intentionally pose a threat. The bear wasn't going through trying to ask for numbers. The bear wasn't going through trying to force conversation on anybody. The bear wasn't ignoring the fact that someone had a boyfriend and kept on, or a husband, and kept on going. Nope. The bear just wanted a good hearty meal. Saw humans were there because humans are most likely to cook, get drunk, try to have pleasure, and go around with their activities of consuming and discarding and destroying. And they kill more than, they unalive more than just each other. They unalive other creatures. And when it said God gave dominion, the humans dominion over the earth, or man dominion over the earth, meaning man, the giant M-A-N, and men and women. So when it gave them dominion over the earth, it didn't mean that it gave them the right to kill. It said it gave them the right to have dominion over the earth, meaning that they're in charge of God's creatures and everything in it. And everything in it should have fair treatment. And what he said could be meat for them, there'd be meat for them. And the trees have meat for them. And to have dominion is just to make sure to look out for God's creatures and everything in it. And that's basically what it was saying. But yeah, these groups of people were kind of scaredy cats when the bear came out just to walk through the camp, because they smelled food. And they smelled food in their own home, because out there in the wild, that's their own home. And humans go through those animals' homes and act like animals. And they throw cans down on the ground everywhere. They leave their junk everywhere. They consume and discard their stuff everywhere. And this bear, all he did is smell food. Probably ribs were showing also, because it probably been a long time since they had a good bite to eat, and was just hoping the human would just lay something down for them. He wasn't coming really to harm anyone. He just wanted the food that they were enjoying, while they listened to that loud, disgusting music and disturbing the peace of not only the other people around, but of the whole wilderness that had the bears there that wanted the food. They don't take no for an answer, and when you make it clear that you don't want them, then they try to make it worse for you. They try to make you pay for not wanting to have anything to do with them. And they become unconsolable when they get angry, meaning that you can't calm them down. There's nothing you can say to de-escalate the situation. They're gonna want to go for the, and they want to, and the harassment, and the torture, and the threatening. And the worst thing about it is most of those dudes won't stand up for these women because they don't know their pain. They don't know what they went through and what they dealt with at the hands of someone that has the same anatomy as them. And instead of being an upstanding guy, they're going to sit there and try to act like it's not happening. Act like just because that one guy is not doing it, that everyone else isn't. They may even have friends or family who have violated women and men, and probably even violated them themselves, but they will never cop to it. They would keep it silent. And just like that thing that's going on with Puffy and them, they just keep the little violations to themselves until the day that they may need it in order to protect their own hides. So there you have it. Talk to you soon. Man up, Muse. Ciao.